Hello, hello, my green skins. As I wander the void of nothingness that is my place, I'm greeted with another fellow wanderer, Dark. And today, what are we doing for John Candy Month?
We're starting off with Uncle Buck, probably his best known film.
I hate that people say that. Okay. Aye, aye, aye. So, let us get started with this movie. Anything you want to say about Uncle Buck before we start?
Uh,
Anything you want
it's
to,
it's
other than
funny.
the posters?
Well,
I
you know
don't.
what? Let's talk about the poster.
Okay, talk about the
This
picture.
poster makes it look like Uncle Buck is this obnoxious, annoying, unwanted, unwelcome guy, and well, he kind of is, uh, but the, but the movie sets it up so that he has to come and they called him to look after the kid to babysit because there was no one else available. But the poster makes it look like
Hmm.
they're trying to keep him out, and that's like not the premise at all.
See, you know what? This movie. There was a couple movies like this. What about Bob with Bill Murray was another one. A couple others that exist too. Throw Mama from the train. Uh, Another famous one was don't kind of the unwanted guest movie. Another one's you know Don't Move or My Mama Will Shoot, which is actually pretty funny. I actually did like Don't Mom or My Mama Will Shoot. That was actually bad. Oh, and we got our special guest co-host, the kitten, Dark's kitten.
He's
So
he wants attention, probably.
yeah,
You mean stop or my
he
mama will
wants.
shoot?
Oh, stop for My Mama Will Shoot. Yeah. Um, I couldn't remember the name of it. I actually have the movie too, and it's funny. It's one of my leaked. It's not the most unliked Sylvester Stallone movie, but it is one of those. And so here we go. So let's start with the fundamentals. What did you think of the music of Uncle Buck?
Well, this is a comedy, so you don't expect music to be anything special. So yeah, it's not even worth talking about. It's just cue sad music here, cue generic
Um,
happy music
no,
here.
there actually is a couple music stings in this that are good. They're not memorable, but they're good. I will give that a catch to this. Next is, we'll give it something. Next is the acting. Oh, we're gonna have an interesting one. I'll let you go first.
Okay, so if I like dry humor, and
Mhm.
I think, and that's when the humor is more in the characters, what they say, sarcasm or play with words. This is a movie where there is some slapstick, but it's not like over the top for the most part. It's so the actors are taking their role seriously, but well, as seriously as you can get considering the premise. But they're not wacky. They're not over the top. They're not,
Oh,
so
okay.
they're not. It's not like everyone. Like there is
Uh, uh,
no.
uh,
It's not a bunch of goofballs with a straight man. It's like everyone is a bit of a straight man in this. So I think it's
unless you count Macaulay Culkin
well,
character,
he's
because
Macaulay Culkin being Macaulay Culkin. There's just.
yeah.
I mean, but his role in the movie is not really. Like, you could have gotten any other kid; it wouldn't have made a difference. I mean, the fact that it's Macaulay Culkin adds nothing to the movie.
Yeah. And this one is the one I gotta say drives me nuts. I think the acting in this is uncanny valley bad. Like it's almost cruel. Yeah, I find the movie itself cruel for no fucking god given reason. I really hate. Okay, I get the idea, but it's so cruel for no reason. A lot of the acting in this, I want to smack. Like John Candy. When there's moments in John Candy when he says stuff, especially to the fucking teenager, and you're thinking to yourself, the way that 15-year-old talked to John Candy, he says stuff. he's thinking, in the back. I don't know how much of that was real acting and how much of him just being pissed off at how this kid's talking to him. This is
Look,
why I really don't. This is why I don't like this movie.
look,
Is what we're coming up to. Go ahead.
if an actor or actress can make you hate a character so much, then and you're supposed to, then they're doing a good job. I mean, I know you don't like the Big Bang Theory, but uh,
Oh,
one example I can give is Leonard's mom. You know, she is. I get pissed off every time she's on screen and everything she says. But it shows how good of an actor she is if she can do that.
yeah. Well, my here's my problem with the with again, and we're going to be moving to story next, and this is my big ass goddamn fucking problem with this movie. Is the acting in this is just like, wow, why is this person treating this person like shit? Why is this person treating this person like shit? Why is this true person? And so the acting, the only
I mean, the
actors that I
personalities.
yeah, the personalities that they're trying to portray and act. See, the problem with that is there's no reason for that. And that's what annoys me about this whole fucking movie.
the the
And
daughter, the teenage his teenage niece is being a little shit for and taking
oh,
it out
well,
on
no,
him.
no, sister, and the only ones I felt were actually real in this entire movie were the kids. And that's because they were acting like fucking kids. Now let's move to the story. And oh boy, I'm gonna let you start because I'm interested to hear how you think about this because how I think of this. Oh, this is gonna get interesting. Go
So the
ahead.
so the story revolves around the Uncle Buck having to babysit these kids, including the teenage girl, because and he was a last resort because especially the mother is not very fond of him, but he's all they've got. The other neighbors are unavailable, so knowing that he has all these eccentricities and all these bad habits, but and leaving him with the kids with such a person is the worry. And I, th- I think the movie kind of, I don't know if this was intentional, but I feel like he's more responsible than I guess they were intending because he does look after the kids. He takes care of them. He backs his niece up. I love that scene with the he had with the principal, saying, "Oh, she's."
Okay.
I love that scene so much. She's a
Okay.
dreamer.
Okay.
She doesn't take her schoolwork seriously. Hey, I don't want to know a kid.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that's what I hate about this movie. This movie's a gotcha bitch movie. Gotcha bitch. A lot of this movie is scenes. No, really, a lot of this movies is John Candy enters into a scenario, does something triumphant, and fucking mic drops and walks out.
and you don't expect
That's
that
that's
because he is
no, you don't. No, you do
sorry to phrase it
expect
this
it.
way, but because he's the fat guy, and let's just say
No,
fat
no,
characters
no,
are
you
portrayed
do expect it.
as competent usually.
No, you do expect that. No, you do expect that from John Candy because John Candy. That was the one thing John Candy did. Yeah, he could play the jester, the fool, the Joker, but when it breaks it down, John Candy can be a one of those actors that's actually really good at portraying a competent human being. This guy, and that's what bothered me with this movie is all these movies are gotcha bitch moments. Gotcha bitch. Just like a lot of that. That's what it is. Like when the drunken clown shows up, it's like nothing he's doing is unreasonable. So to me, again, the whole idea that this man's a 40-year-old, the only reason he's a 40-year-old screw up. That's half the internet. That's 90% of YouTube at this point. you know, 40-year-old screw ups are that's
Here's your
that's a YouTube.
representation.
Yeah, here's your representation. 40-year-old screw ups. We're all 40 years like Jesus fuck. How many people on YouTube that are 40 right now? Right, doing stuff. We all have those screw up characters, and that's the thing about this, John. So when you have a character who everything seems artificial and everything seems unnaturally mean, like when the 15-year-old fucking goes and bites her mother's fucking head off. I'm like, Jesus, fuck, that's your grandfather. That's your fucking grandfather, you little cunt. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
she is a little
sorry,
shit.
she'd be getting the back of a fucking ring finger, right? She'd be getting that fucking ring finger. They'd be like trying to explain why she's got a busted lip after that because Jesus fuck, yeah, I believe in beating a child when they're that. You see, I normally, if a kid's a good kid, you never fucking touch a kid. Never heard it. But when a kid acts like that, you fucking grab him by the scruff of the hair and go whack. And then you say that again, you little bitch, I'm gonna hit you harder. Because that's how I felt watching this movie. She did stuff so mean for no goddamn reason. And that's what bothered me. And that's a lot of this movie was like that. A lot of this movie was she did something so mean for no good goddamn reason. And that like why the hell is a teacher? Why the hell is a vice principal walking up to a fucking someone who has no reason to and mouthing off and treating the guy like fucking treating this little kid like shit. You don't say that. Like you might think that you want to you might not like, but you don't walk up to a parent and say that. That's a good way to get your fucking lights punched out. Like everything that happened in this was so mean spirited that it was annoying. And that's what I didn't like about the movie. It's just it was unreal to me. Like you're telling me this 15-year-old wants to lose her virginity so goddamn bad that she can't wait a week? Like, why would you want to deal with Uncle? Like, the first five incarnation of Uncle Buck is literally her treating him like shit. Now, I would be a little bit more if they actually gave her a valid reason for, excuse me, for acting like that.
Well, they gave a
I
reason.
would
Whether it's valid or not is up to you.
no, a valid like something other than that she wants to lose her V card.
No, that's not the
That's
reason. The reason was her parents forced her to move out of her old school, her old town, and that's where she had her friends, where she had her life, and now they just took it away without
yeah.
without the kid's
Okay,
opinions.
dark. If
I said
you
it was a
saw
reason. I didn't
that
say it was a
movie,
valid reason.
no, dark. How many times did you watch that movie? How many times have you seen this movie?
Quite a few times. To me, it's
Exactly.
rewatchable.
Exactly. That's the problem. This movie, that's the biggest problem with this movie. You have to see it 4 or 5 times. I didn't catch that at all. I just caught how mean spirited this girl
Well,
was for no fucking goddamn reason.
well, if you're
And why
suggesting
is
that I
that?
picked that up upon multiple viewings, that's not really the case. I picked that up on first viewing. Were you
I
not skimming
watched it
through
and
it
I
or
didn't.
something?
No, I actually watched it all the way through. I just, she was such a bitch the entire. And again, there was no reason to do that to Buck. Like, why treat? It's
Yeah,
not
there
Buck's
was no
problem
reason.
that this is. Yeah, there was no valid reason. Like, I could understand if that was her grandfather and they were beloved and she had horses and there's a lot of this evidence proving this fact. But she acts like a complete fucking cunt. Like, the only validation I have for her acting the way she is in a time of emergency. This was a time, her father has had a heart attack.
Grandfather.
Like, grandfather is just could be dead any fucking goddamn second. And her response is, I'm going to treat the only person that I haven't seen in years, by the way, which is even worse if you think about it,
I mean, you gotta give
like
it some
shit.
context. I mean, like I said, her parents were take. She was removed from her community
Yeah,
because of her parents, but
but
now
that's it.
her grandfather is also gets a heart attack. She wants to go see him, but the parents won't let her, so they get Uncle Buck.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
There's these elements
No,
that they're just building up
no, no.
more of her frustration is being
No, no,
added
no,
on.
no, no. Yeah, I know. But to target Uncle Buck like this, there was no reason to target him like that. And the ultimate fuck you is what she did to that person in his relationship.
Yeah, she was a little
That
shit.
that was so goddamn mean spirited for no validation reason. And that's the problem with this movie. Like even when they talk about how bad, oh Buck's useless. Buck, like they're treating Buck like he's a piece of garbage. Like, listen to how they talk about him when they're not going to get him. Like, I mean, that's your brother talking shit like that.
Oh, he wasn't talking shit. He
Like,
was defending him. He was like, okay, he
no,
has a few screws loose, but he's
I know, but listen to her. Listen to how
his
she
sister in law
talks.
was being the shit. Was being
Yeah,
was
yeah, sister-in-law. Listen to how she talks to him, about him, and I'm like, Jesus fuck, these people like, and they're like, it's just rude. Like I've dealt with this in my life where I've had like estranged family members. It happens, but like, you know, that level of mean spirited, I'd say, yeah, that's just so mean spirited. I just didn't. That's the biggest problem with this movie. There are so many scenes in this movie that just logically don't make sense. Like, why the fuck, if you're a drunk ass clown and you get piss face and go to a fucking party, punching you in the face is a reasonable example. Like, that's reasonable. You wouldn't walk it. Yeah, I wouldn't let a fucking drunk ass clown. But that's what I mean. There's all these scenes that are so mean spirited. Like he's got that guy pal that shows up and starts hitting on what's her face. Dude, it's clearly a 15-year-old.
and he protected her. I think
I know he, but
like I said,
I know,
I don't know if this film was
but that
intentional,
was my problem.
but it's like
That's my problem. That's my problem. The film was too intentional. A really good. I hate to say it. Um, a really good movie for unintentional awesome is another Macaulay Culkin movie. Is Home Alone. Home Alone it has its intentional moments, but it has such real moments in it as well that's far superior. This movie is almost manufactured pip 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 pip, which is okay in a
I don't know.
comedy sometimes.
I
Again,
feel like
Canadian bacon.
I feel like if it was handled by someone else, there would a lot of the jokes would have been really bad. Like I bet you if someone else handled it, the clown would have actually been Uncle Buck's friend, and he would have let him. Uh, and he would have done something for
Yeah, but
after his
that's
time.
bad. But that's bad grandpa. That's that's stuff like that. And that those movies don't work. Like those movies don't work for me either. I can't stand bad grandpa. And funny story about that, but I won't talk about it here. And it just that's my problem with this. It's just I don't like it because it's too artificial. And again, we're going to be watching movies like Canadian Bacon later. And Canadian Bacon is very fucking artificial. It is hysterically artificial. But this one feels too weak. Like I think the popularity of this movie is out of all the John Candy movies, this was the one on TV the most. Excuse me again. Sorry about that.
I think this one is the
This was
most family friendly of his movies that I know of,
no.
besides Home Alone. But then again, it's not really his
I would
movie.
say Great Outdoors was a far superior movie, even though there is some pervy moments in it. It's a far superior movie, I think personally. So
Uh,
so what do you want to rate this one?
I'm giving this a 7.5.
I'm giving this one a 3. I
Hmm.
did not like this movie.
I enjoyed this movie. I got some laughs out of it. I like dry humor. I'm glad it wasn't an all out zany, wacky falling over. I'm glad. Well, it certainly isn't an Adam Sandler movie. Oh yeah, I went
Okay,
there.
yeah. If it's an Adam Sandler movie, it's 0. It's an automatic like 10 compared to any Adam Sandler movie.
I'm not usually a comedy watcher, but as I think most comedy movies are bad. So when you have something like this, it's fresh air for me. Even if it's even if you say it's not the best comedy, it's like well for me it is because most comedies to me, if you've got your Ben Stillers and your Adam Sandlers, like those types of humor dominate the comedy genre as far as I can see at least. Of course, I'm gonna find this maybe I may find this better than I think it should be, but I just do. And the
I really do think this movie's popular because Macaulay Culkin's in it. It's one of his first movies. And the other reason was this thing was on all the fucking time. This is up there with National Lampoon's, the National Lampoon vacation movies, and Groundhog Day.
see, I don't
Groundhog Day is. Go ahead.
see. I don't understand Macaulay Culkin's popularity. I mean, I do, but I don't at the same time. It's like, okay, he has one good movie. Well, if you like Home Alone 2, I guess 2. But to me, it's just Home Alone 1 in a different setting. But um, other than that, what else has he done that's good? I mean, I'm sure he might have done some stuff. Maybe he's done something better when he's older, but he's playing the same kid in
No,
practically every movie at that point in time.
Good Son would be his other big movie, but mm, I would say I would say that it's just kind of funny. You're not the only one who said it to me. I've had a lot of people say I don't agree with that. I believe Macaulay Culkin has his problems, but um, I would say the popularity of his character on TV, on the other hand, holy shit, they're still showing Home Alone. I actually last Christmas I remember seeing Home Alone actually pop up. I wasn't watching TV. I was just sitting there with a buddy of mine, and his grandmother had the TV in the background, and I hear Home Alone coming out tomorrow. We're gonna watch on Movie Plex or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, so for me, Home Alone, I like Home Alone, but it being a Christmas movie, I don't watch it. Like, it's not a. I don't
Mhm.
celebrate Christmas, so therefore I watch it any time of the year. So I don't know about you guys, but
Yeah,
I'm guessing over there it's an event, or maybe it feels odd
it
to
is
see you guys
it is an event.
not
It is
watching
an
it in
event.
Christmas time.
It's like Gremlins and other stuff that ends up. Actually, Gremlins has quickly disappeared, but needless to say, Uncle Buck. That's why I think Uncle Buck's popular. I don't like Uncle Buck. I think Canadian Bacon. I think Trains, Planes, and Automobiles is a far superior movie, and I believe The Great Outdoors is a superior movie. I
Mm.
would say we're gonna have to review them all and see how Dark feels about them and see how I feel about them. But I would say right now we're at the lowest point of John Candy month, and that's my opinion.
Kitten is not very happy
And
with our
that's
review.
yeah, she doesn't like my review.
It's a
Yeah,
he.
she's upset. Oh, it's a he. Oh, I call most kittens a she. It's a weird thing. Anyway, um, I'd like to thank everybody. Like, sub, subscribe, and we'll be up with the next one. What do you want to do next, there, Dark?
That's up to you.
How about the Great Outdoors?
Okie dokie.
Alrighty, everyone. You have yourselves a very good day. And for all my green skins, thank you. And hopefully we'll see you all out to the next one. Have a very good day. Bye.